This would be unethical and sanctionable, okay? So did they sell the wall that they were not entitled to sell? They could be held in contempt of court.
I don't know. I mean, it is crazy that this guy is about to walk into the White House for a second time.
Their policies are killing Americans at record numbers, they're killing aliens at record numbers. President Trump is going to secure this border and save lives, just not of Americans, but of aliens too. A secure border saves lives. That's exactly what we're going to do starting day one.
President Trump declares a victory. The selling of the border wall will now come to a halt, thanks to our friends in the great state of Texas. Ken Paxton came out declaring victory on this, said that they have now blocked the Biden administration from getting rid of those materials. They had to sue him and file a claim to stop it. But we've got more on the border because now Tom Homan, the incoming Border Czar, is having some choice words about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett has been explaining that the people that Trump is bringing in are not to her liking or to her standards. And Tom Homan says, well, I don't even know who she is. But apparently she's not real smart. We'll hear him confirm that for us shortly. But here's what Trump said about this recent victory. He says, breaking in a major crucial win for America and our national security, a federal judge in Texas, based on papers we filed just a few days ago, has prohibited the Biden administration from selling any materials designated for the border wall that has been wrecked by Biden and his cronies, and which I am going to rebuild in order to protect our country from violent migrant crime, fentanyl smuggling, sex trafficking, terror attacks, and other heinous nation-ending disasters. The judge has also ordered an investigation into the illegal selling of the materials, which will expose just how corrupt and anti-American radical Democrats are. I am honored to be joined in this vital case by the great state of Texas and Missouri and applaud Judge Drew Tipton for doing the right thing for our country. We have to protect our borders and save America. Make America great again. So I've got the full filing here that went in against Alejandro Mayorkas and the Department of Homeland Security in Texas. They were successful on this claim. But let's see what they said. Attorney General Ken Paxton secured a victory for President-elect Donald Trump's border security agenda during a hearing today before a federal judge. The hearing was called at Paxton's request to uncover potential legal violations committed by Biden after recent reports showed that they were auctioning off the border wall for pennies on the dollar. The Biden administration confirmed to the court today that it will agree to an order preventing the outgoing administration from disposing of any further border wall materials over the next 30 days, allowing President Trump to use those materials as he sees fit. This will be adopted as an order of the court, making it enforceable if any violations occur. And so here's what was going on. They sent this into the court. They say, listen, Texas, United States District Court, Southern District of Texas. It's the state of Missouri and the state of Texas versus Alejandro and Joe Biden, saying, listen, Your Honor, we are now respectfully asking this court to enforce an injunction and hold a status conference to stop them from selling this wall. Federal government have a history of trying to evade your injunctions, which is telling them to stop. In fact, just this past summer, the 8th Circuit was forced to issue another injunction to stop the federal government from evading an illegal student loan cancellation block. This is a serious concern. Now, we have videos that were obtained by the Daily Wire that shows flatbed trucks hauling massive, unused border wall panels, each weighing over 16,000 pounds, away from construction sites in Arizona right off to government auction yards. Their goal? Clear it all out, quote, before Christmas. It's a bargain sale. Come get some scrap metal. As a U.S. border agent on the ground confirmed, up to half a mile per day of critical wall sections are being ripped away and sold for pennies on the dollar. That is our government. Indeed, the federal government is apparently listing wall panel sections for sale starting at a bid of $5 for the metal. You know how much metal that is? It's basically free. If you can haul it, you can take it. The November election, they say, sent a clear mandate. The American people want a secure border, but the Biden-Harris administration appears to be, as Senator Ted Cruz remarked, basically saying, screw you to the voters and to the Trump administration. This last-minute fire sale of the border wall materials has been called a blatant sabotage designed to prevent Trump from securing our border. Even Trump has publicly demanded an end to this activity, urging Biden, please stop selling the wall. Can you please stop doing it? As a first step, a status conference is necessary so that we can explain what's happening, and defendants can offer the court their justification as to why they should dismantle the border wall and sell it for pennies on the dollar. Now, we know they are prohibited from doing these things. In an email correspondence, counsel for the government has communicated with counsel to us, for us. They told us that the remaining 40% of the wall was sold to GovPlanet under a competitive sales contract beginning beginning in June 24. So the material that's currently being sold through GovPlanet online auctions no longer belongs to the government. That's how sick this is. So they say, oh, no, we're not selling it. We already sold it. They're selling it. But this court's permanent injunction was issued on May 29th, before the beginning of June. So counsel for them saying that they're disposing of border walls was already subject to the court's injunction. But the concern is not that they're using those funds for disposing of the border wall. Instead, if the reported activities involve the sale, then those materials will not actually be a part of any construction, which is in violation of the injunction. So the hybrid plan was created, and now they're violating that. They say because the court has inherent power to protect the sanctity of its decrees, that's what we're doing now. And so we respectfully request that you stop them from doing this. Order a status conference. That status conference has been had. This was submitted by Ken Paxton, Andrew Bailey, two great AGs from the great states of Texas and Missouri, and now they are declaring victory. The court stated that Texas is entitled to documentation proving that the Biden administration has not violated an injunction secured by us. If it's shown that they disposed of border wall materials that were subject to the injunction, this would be unethical and sanctionable. Okay, so did they sell the wall that they were not entitled to sell? They could be held in contempt of court, and we'll see if they are. We have successfully blocked the Biden administration, says Paxton. This follows our major victory forcing Biden to build a wall, and we're going to continue our work in this case. Now, we've got a battle brewing. Tom Homan says Jasmine Crockett's not that smart, and here was Jasmine trying to explain her concerns with the new incoming Trump administration.
I don't know. I mean, it is crazy that this guy is about to walk into the White House for a second time. And again, I kept saying on the campaign trail, this guy doesn't know who our friends are. Now, I can tell you that he loves to pal around with Putin, and we know that Putin has decided that he wants to bring back the former coalition that they used to have, and that's why he went into Ukraine. I am here to say that we've got to have really good people around Trump, and right now the people he's picking are not the best people because somebody needs to...
What? RFK is not the best person? Kash Patel she doesn't like? She doesn't like Tulsi Gabbard? Interesting. She doesn't like John Ratcliffe or Tom Homan.
Explain to him in a very elementary way why we don't go after our friends, why we don't start wars. And honestly, Trump didn't start any wars. This whole conflict between Russia and Ukraine started on Biden's watch. This whole Gaza-Israel thing started on Biden's watch, not Trump's. Includes even tariff wars with our friends.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
So that's Jasmine Crockett. And is she just now a war hawk? Is she a pro-Ukraine person now all of a sudden? Still trying to figure out what she is, what she's all about, because she keeps shape-shifting into different people. But here is Tom Homan responding to this, talking about bad people being around Trump. What the heck? Who is this lady?
It's frustrating because anytime you say something, it seems the left just completely twists it, runs with it. I want to play you a video of Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crocker talking about your capabilities on MSNBC this weekend.
Again, we have someone who doesn't know what he's doing. And, this idea of, you're illegal and then you go out and have a child. It's not quite that simple, especially when you have people that are doing things like seeking asylum and people that are saying, listen, I'm just trying to make sure that I can live a better life. And you have, Trump that goes out there, him and his minions, and they say things like, you know what, we're only going to get rid of the bad ones, right? And so people sit there and they're like, wait a minute, you're going to come to my job where I'm working and I may be paying into taxes or whatever, or my kids are at school. I think that there's going to be a rude awakening really on all sides.
Doesn't know what he's doing. Tom, just to go through some of your background, a Border Patrol agent, an investigator, a supervisor, special agent, assistant director of investigations. I mean, the list goes on and on. You are so beyond qualified. What's your response to that?
Well, look, I forgot more about this issue than she'll ever know. I mean, for God's sakes, I've been doing it 34 years. But look, there has been a rude awakening. A rude awakening was in November at the election. There was a rude awakening that American people are sick of an open border. American people are sick of illegal alien crime in this country. I mean, how many young women had to be raped and murdered and burned alive? How many MS-13 and Trinidad had to be in our major cities?
How many
crimes against U.S. citizens? How many angel moms and dads do we have to have in this country that lost their children at the hands of somebody that wasn't supposed to be here, and they buried their children? I want to talk about family separation. And as far as family detention, all of a sudden the discussion goes from family detention to family separation. Family detention is the complete opposite of family separation. So look, I don't know who this lady is. Apparently she's not real smart.
No.
But she can say what she wants. Look, I made this clear. I don't care what they say about Tom Homan because, I've done this job for a long time. I think the president got a mandate in November. He called me to help me fix the border. And look, under the Trump administration, we have the most secure border in my lifetime. We're going to get that secure border again because secure border saves lives. And no one can argue argue that. Under the Biden administration, we got a historic number of aliens have died across this border, nearly 4,000. An historic number of Americans, over 250,000, died from fentanyl comes across that border. Their policies are killing Americans at record numbers, they're killing aliens at record numbers. President Trump is going to secure this border and save lives, just not of Americans, but of aliens too. A secure border saves lives. That's exactly what we're going to do starting day one.
Let's go, Tom Homan. So he doesn't really know who she is. Not a lot of people do. She's not that smart anyway, so not missing much. But he is here to deliver a result, and the result is a secure border. That's what he's going to be working on. They've been in charge for years. They haven't been able to figure it out. So Jasmine Crockett should listen to Byron Donalds and let the Republicans under MAGA Trump solve this.
Well, first of all, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Congratulations
Byron.
to Sean Hannity on the announcement of your engagement.
Yeah,
Congratulations
congrats,
to you and Ainsley. Look, I think what's happening with Joe Biden, nobody thinks he even knows about these clemencies or these pardons. This is the radical left staff that has been running this administration for the last 4 years. And so I agree with President Trump in what he said about these 37 individuals who've been granted clemency. This is outrageous. They should not have a Merry Christmas, to be perfectly blunt with you. But this is because we have the radical left doing all the things they've been wanting to do for a very long time on their way out the door, while Joe Biden's at the beach or taking a nap or whatever it is he's doing.
Do you think he had any idea what he was doing?
We are a country that doesn't have a president right now.
Do you think he knew what he was signing,
I don't think
what he was doing?
No, of course not. He doesn't even know where he is. All right, so Byron Donalds is slamming the Biden administration. Tom Homan going after Jasmine Crockett. Not that smart.